Hello everyone, I'm your watch enthusiast, Mike Watch. Today, I'll briefly chat with you about this blue dial Yacht Master from VS Factory. This model is also made by C Factory. But why do I recommend you go for VSF? It's very simple. It all comes down to this bezel. You can get a feel for this bezel. The bezel on the C Factory version is clearly overdone. It's too forceful, and the entire sandblasted texture is too strong. Plus, if you touch it with your hand, it's very prone to picking up fingerprints. But the bezel made by VS Factory is just right. It gives you that matte, sandblasted feel, but it doesn't have the obvious issue of attracting fingerprints. So, I personally think for the Yacht Master series, I suggest you take a look at this one from VS Factory. It features the Dandong DD3235 movement. As for models like the Submariner, Datejust, or some Daytona versions, I'd recommend you go with C Factory. Different models are better from different factories, and everyone has their own opinion. But I personally highly recommend VSF for this one, though the final choice is yours. Now, let's briefly discuss the finishing, as I've covered the grey dial version before. You can feel the overall texture and presentation. It's a 40mm case diameter, and the crystal is a high-clarity, high-transparency sapphire crystal. At 3 o'clock, it has the 2.5x magnification cyclops over the date window. A classic design element of this blue Yacht Master is its red second hand. It has a glossy, almost oily 3D feel. Let me give you a closer look. This hand here. You can take a look. Let's get a bit closer for you to appreciate it. Right, it's quite comfortable to look at, and it has some unique characteristics. The entire dial is blue with a subtle sunburst finish, and the text is red. Including its hands, the Mercedes R hand and the minute hand, you can feel that they are crafted with a three-dimensional, buff-polished finish. And then there's this center pivot. You can really focus on this center pivot. The center pivot on this one is better than C Factory's. It's a solid center pivot in the shape of a small top hat, with a very fine and small hollow center. The center pivot on this is superior to C's. You can feel the difference. Right, the 6, 9, and the triangle marker all have this rounded edge polishing. And the texture of the bezel numerals, you can feel it. Right, when you experience it like this, it feels much more direct than looking at a picture. The entire case and bracelet are made of 904L steel, and the edges have rounded polishing. You can just take a quick look at that. Including the crown design here with the small crown logo. Another thing is the laser-edged crown leg at 6 o'clock. Dear friends, take a close look. This leg needs to be viewed from a very specific angle to be seen. For example, from this direct angle, you can't see it, right? But if you're under direct light at a 45-degree angle, take a look here. It has a laser-edged crown that is extremely subtle. You can see it at this spot, right here. You can feel it. It's very subtle. If you can see the LEC clearly from any angle, then it's not a correct replication. You need to be clear about that. If it's especially obvious, that's incorrect. The leg is an anti-counterfeiting measure, meant to be hard to spot. The bracelet has polished center links and brushed outer links. Let's look at the texture on the side. Including the clasp. The clasp. Crown logo, and with the double safety clasp opened, inside, it has no welding points. You can take a look. Right, it's a one-piece integrated safety clasp. Opening it reveals the inside with the crown logo and the anti-counterfeit dots. It has the true WP code, and the clarity of these engravings is better than C Factory's. However, even on the genuine piece, these markings are laser engraved, not deep engraved. The clasp codes are all laser etched. Sure, there are no major issues here. It's a solid case back design. I will open it shortly to show you the legendary Dandong DD3235 movement. Now let's talk about its winding and setting functions. This model features a screw-down crown design. After you unscrew it, it pops out automatically. This is the winding position. Right, and pull out one click to adjust the date. The thickness and size of each date numeral are consistent, complete with the small serifs at the top and bottom. You can take a look. Whether it's single digit or double digit, let me adjust it for you. You can take a look. Right, the thickness and size of each date numeral are consistent. Pull out one more click to set the hands. It's a counterclockwise setting method. Now let's check its date change function. It's 12 o'clock noon. Let's go one more round. Right, an instantaneous date change. It also supports backward date adjustment. Let me demonstrate. However, for this backward date adjustment feature, you should use it sparingly. Just knowing it has this function is enough. Don't use it frequently. I personally feel it might cause some wear on the movement. That's about it. To screw the crown back in, push it to the winding position, press inward while turning clockwise to tighten it. Finally, let's put it on the wrist for you to feel. My wrist circumference is 16.5 centimeters. Wearing this 40mm Yacht Master poses no problem at all. Regarding the dial's color tone, you can judge for yourself. I feel the color on this VSF is quite good. The perceived shade of the dial will be different depending on the viewing angle and the sunburst effect. You can feel it for yourself. It's quite good looking. However, I personally feel the grey dial Yacht Master has a slightly higher aesthetic appeal, but everyone's tastes are different. Okay, after showing you the on-wrist effect, I'll now show you this Dandong DD3235 movement. This is the Dandong DD3235 movement. When fully wound, its power reserve can reach about 72 hours. Let me tell you about some of its basic structures. First, this shock absorber is called the Keep style shock absorber, which is exclusive to this brand. You can feel this shock absorber. It resembles a Chinese character shape. And below the balance wheel, it features a blue hairspring. Right, you can see it. And this part here, it has a regulated balance design. The genuine piece has a free-sprung balance design. And for the Dandong DD3235 movement, the small gear is on the right side. We'll find an angle ... You can see it from this angle. The small gear is on the right side. Whereas for C factories like graded Shanghai 3235, the small gear is on the left side. Also, the bridge that secures the shock absorber is steel-colored. Only this small gear is gold-colored, and the shock absorber itself is gold-colored. The rest is all steel-colored. Unlike the current no-cost of C Factory's version on the market, where the entire shock absorber assembly, the entire fixed bridge, is all gold-colored, which is incorrect. Take a close look. This is the correct version, with a steel-colored fixed bridge. Including its tungsten steel engravings, the deep engravings are done quite clearly and three-dimensionally. Small crown logo, and here are the red reversing wheels, and the escapement lever and gears. Including the steel engravings on the bottom, you can all take a look. Now let me manually wind it for you to feel the charm of this movement's architecture. You can feel it, an integrated movement. Right, after unscrewing, you can see this part, which we should call the guide wheel. You can feel it. Right, it engages upwards, and when you wind it, all the gears are driven. A truly integrated movement, and when you turn it back, it disengages. At this spot, I think this part is quite fun. Right, you see, engage and wind. Right, it's quite fun. Just be clear about this movement's architecture, you can take a screenshot yourself. The Dandong DD3235 movement is currently considered the top tier of the DD3235 movements. Below it will be C Factory's upgraded Shanghai 3235. You can screenshot this to compare the movement architecture. When fully wound, it can achieve a power reserve of about 72 hours.